everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Ear Training Tuesday. My name is Tara, your resident harmony nerd. I'm a professional singer based in New York City, as well as a vocal coach, singing teacher, music educator, and content creator. And I learned very early on in my content creation journey that people want musical knowledge. It's just gate kept, right? There's so much information out there, and how do you know what's accurate? And if you didn't have good music program in your public school, then how do you get good music education? Well, you have to pay a lot for lessons. So I offer 5 days a week free music education to hopefully kind of like round out the edges and connect with people who are interested in music, whether you like to do it for a hobby or you want to do it for a career. I'm just here and happy to support you, and building this community has been an excellent, amazing journey. So today on Tuesdays, we do ear training Tuesdays, okay? And the last 2 weeks, okay, we worked on both ascending, which means going from low pitch to high pitch, okay, and descending, which means starting on the high pitch and dropping down to a lower pitch, okay? So we worked on ascending and descending musical intervals that help us learn how to hear and sing vocal harmony, okay? Now, there's a bunch of musical intervals, okay? But especially if you're new to learning how to sing harmony, we want to just focus on a few of them. So if you're brand new to ear training and you're brand new to singing harmony, the first interval I'm going to recommend that you learn is a perfect fifth. It's one of the most common intervals. It's one of the easier ones for the human ear to hear, okay? And so we're going to practice perfect fifths first, okay? And then we're going to work on thirds, because perfect fifths, okay, they help us create the outside of a triad. And then the third is the inside of the triad, okay? Outside, third, right? And the third can be major or minor, okay? But the bread of the sandwich, the 1 and the 5, stays the same, okay? So that's why this is the interval we learned first. And we learned it ascending, okay? If you're brand new to vocal harmonies, what we're going to do is first I'm going to teach you ascending perfect fifths, major minor thirds, and then we're going to learn descending perfect fourths today, okay? So this is kind of like a review of the last 2 weeks when we learned ascending, then we learned descending. If you want to learn all of the intervals, both ascending and descending, go watch the previous weeks, okay? If you're here on TikTok with me, I'm also live on YouTube. So anything that we do live here on TikTok is automatically reposted over on YouTube. And if you're joining me on YouTube, I'm so sorry that my apartment is such a mess. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm in the process of moving. And I haven't quite figured out how to do the green screen thing for YouTube yet. It's on my April to-do list. But right now, we're just getting through the moving process, right? Okay. So if you are learning, I'll say once more, if you're learning vocal harmonies, I'm going to recommend that you first learn ascending perfect fifths, okay? Then thirds, both major and minor, okay? And then we're going to learn perfect fourths below, okay? Because these are the most common intervals in harmony. Minor thirds below are pretty important too. So maybe we'll work on those as well. But perfect fifths, descending, going from high to low, major thirds, descending, going from high to low, we don't use those a ton. We might use them a ton when we're trying to find our starting pitch, but they're not necessarily a ton when harmonies are moving, like just bopping along with each other, right? Like say here's your top note of your harmony and here's your bottom part of your harmony, and they're bopping along together. They're usually in some sort of thirds. Okay, and often that fifth is below, which when you put a fifth below instead of above, it becomes a fourth. Oh my goodness, so confusing, right? But if you want to learn more about that, go back and watch the replays on YouTube from Music Theory Mondays for these intervals, and it'll explain more. So for some people, knowing the theory behind it is super helpful, and it helps a lot. And for other people, it doesn't matter. They like to do it more by ear. So like, one is not better than the other. Please hear me when I say this. You are not better than somebody else. If you read sheet music, you are not better than somebody else if you learn by ear. Thank you, Edgar. I appreciate it. Thanks for the heart me. It's important that like we level the playing field for music ingenuity. Like all these ways of doing it are legitimate. Okay, so don't feel bad if you don't read music, and don't feel bad if you don't hear things by ear. It's okay. We'll figure out other ways to learn. Okay, and so all that just to say, if the music theory is important to you, if it's helpful to you, you can watch it on the Music Theory Monday replays. Find the ones for musical intervals for vocal harmony from the last 2 weeks. Hi, Jeffrey. Nice to see you today. Hi, Val. Nice to see you too. I hope you're having a beautiful day also, Edgar. Thank you. All right, cool. So let's jump in. Let's just get started. Today we're going to practice. We're just going to like rip through some of these ear training intervals to get them in your bones, okay? So we're going to start with perfect fifths, and I'll give you a little nutshell review of how we memorize and hear perfect fifths for ear training. And then if you want more information, you're going to go back to the replay from 2 weeks ago. Ear Training Tuesdays ascending intervals, and it'll give you a more in-depth view of what the interval is and why it's important. Today we're just going to practice it, okay? So if this is our starting pitch, we're going to sing a perfect fifth above. Is anybody here that remembers what song that we use? Or maybe you learned it somewhere else. Maybe you didn't learn it from me. This is pretty universal. The song that we use to remember a perfect fifth? Anybody know? I'm going to give it a minute. See if anybody knows in the comments before I give the answer away. If this is our first note, there's a popular song that we can sing to find the perfect fifth above. Happy Birthday is a good guess, but it's not correct. Thank you for participating. I appreciate it. Oh, hi ho. Claire, hi ho works. You know what? It makes sense. I maybe heard that one in a past life, but it's been a minute. So yeah, hi ho works. And now with the Snow White movie coming out, that absolutely works. Twinkle Twinkle Jinx. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. That's the one that I was taught with, and one of the more popular ones that I hear out there. Edgar, Saints Go Marching In is what we use for a major third. Good memory, though. Different interval, but good memory. I can't remember. That's okay. You tried, and that's what matters, right? We're always putting in the effort. So, twinkle, twinkle, little star. So if I sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and I stop after the second twinkle, then I sang a perfect fifth. As Claire pointed out, we can also do hi ho. Oh, hi ho is a fourth. It's not a fifth. Sorry, I lied, but not on purpose. It was a mistake. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. That's a perfect fourth above. Hi ho. So we're actually not going to be practicing perfect fourths above today, because in harmonies we tend to see perfect fourths below more. But you can put that in your back pocket. It was a good guess. It was a really good guess. Okay, so we're going to keep using Twinkle Twinkle. All right. So if here's your starting pitch, twinkle. This is how the game is going to work. The practice session is going to work. I'm going to play the note 1, 2, 3 times, and then I'll say, sing your note, hold it. Here comes the answer. Twinkle. Did you find the major fifth above? Major fifth. It's a perfect fifth. Did you find the perfect fifth above? I disagree, Sal. I don't think music theory is super hard. I think we've been trained to think that it's super hard, and it's part of how music theory wraps itself in elitism. Just my opinion, though. And today's set we're doing ear training. So the music theory that matches this ear training is on my YouTube, right? So we're not so much focusing on the theory today, we're just doing the ear training. But if you would like to learn the music theory about how to build these musical intervals and what they mean, you can go to YouTube. I'm the same handle on YouTube, or you can find it in my link tree, right? And then I have a Music Theory Mondays replay playlist, and you can go learn all about these different intervals. Today we're just practicing to hear them. And some people can hear them and don't need the music theory. And some people love having the music theory, and some people need the music theory, right? We're all just different. But You can definitely do it. I promise you can do it. And I feel like when people feel like music theory is really hard, it's because they had a bad teacher. Okay. Let's keep practicing. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick a new starting note. So this means that you have to reset your internal intonation. So this is our starting note now. This is our first twinkle. Can you find the second twinkle? Okay, play it 3 times and then I'm gonna play the answer. Sing your answer out loud. Twinkle. Are you singing this pitch? If you're singing this one, you got it correct. Twinkle. All right. Could be down here if you have a low voice, or could be up here if you have a high voice. Either one is correct. All right, we're getting it. Cool. Let's move on. Here's a new one. And pardon me, I'll start playing the starting pitches in 2 octaves. I'm sorry, I was being lazy, just playing with one hand. Low voices, high voices. All right, here's your first twinkle. Ready for the answer? Here it comes. Twinkle, are you on this note? If you're on this note, you got it correct. Double tap the screen on TikTok or give me a thumbs up on YouTube to let me know if you got it correct. Thanks for the follow, Sal. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the Harmony Nerd community. All right, here we go. New one. Low voices, high voices. This is your first twinkle. Can you find the second twinkle? Answer. Twinkle, 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 little star. Every once in a while I keep singing the song just so you can see how I'm like, you're essentially transposing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star every time you sing it on a new starting pitch. You're transposing in your head. So if you're able to do that, you're already doing music theory without even knowing it. So it's not as tricky as some people may make it seem. Since I'm a guy with same frequency or octave as you, so I'm singing in the octave that I have. So like for this example, if you have a lower voice, you could start here, twinkle or twinkle. So if you started here, then the answer is twinkle. And if you started here, then the answer is twinkle. Right? Ear training is about relative pitch. So what we're trying to do is memorize the space between 2 different pitches, and that's why we use a popular song to help us remember. Which note? We're working on perfect fifths right now, Sarah. For me, a perfect fifth is always giving ET main theme. Fantastic. You truly can use whatever song works for you. We did a really thorough breakdown of all of these intervals over the last 2 Ear Training Tuesdays, and today we're just kind of doing a quick practice review. So if you like a different song other than Twinkle Twinkle and you know it's a perfect fifth, by all means, use whatever song is best for you. If you want to find a bunch of different options, go to Google, open a browser, go to a search engine, and type in Ear Master Song Interval Chart Generator. Okay, and then there's this amazing chart that pops up that gives you a whole bunch of different songs for every single musical interval, and you can choose whichever one you want to memorize them. Okay, for today I'm just using Twinkle Twinkle because we're kind of rapid fire practicing. Okay, but like I said, if you want more information on these intervals, you can go to YouTube, watch the Music Theory Monday replays or the Ear Training Tuesday replays. Music Theory Monday explains the theory of the intervals in vocal harmony. Ear Training Tuesday is practicing, learning, and hearing and singing the intervals, okay? And if you want a free PDF on how to build a major triad, which is a huge building block, basic building block for harmony, vocal harmony in Western music. If you want a free PDF that explains music theory and how to practice on your own, even if you don't play an instrument, head to the link in my bio. And if you sign up for my email list, you'll get that free PDF emailed to you immediately in exchange. Okay. And I also accept tips in my link tree. I think it's the 3rd one down. It says tip me please. If you click on that, a document will open with like my PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. even if you're able to donate $1, like every little bit helps me continue to keep this music education content free. And if you are not in a space to donate even $1, that's okay. You're still more than welcome here. And there are other ways to support me. I'm new on YouTube, so if you're here on TikTok, pop over there and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Like, follow, share, subscribe. All of these things help me in the long run. Cool. So Sarah says, you're a good teacher, even though I'm very new to music theory. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I really believe that everybody and anybody can learn this stuff. And I got lucky. I had really good teachers in high school. I really did. And they instilled a love for the thing in me instead of like that fear that a lot of people seem to have. And you know what I think it is? And you could tell me how you feel about this, but I think a lot of times maybe these teachers haven't pursued their own musical goals and they take it out on their students. I had a voice teacher in college that was like that, and it was a pretty terrible experience. So, yeah, she is. Thank you, Erin. I appreciate it. Good teachers create good teachers, yeah. I agree, Sarah. That's like the positive spin on hurt people, right? Let's take good teachers, create good teachers. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep practicing. So we're going to do 3 more perfect fifths, okay? Using Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or ET's theme or whatever works best for you. I'm going to say Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. As long as you get the answer right, that's what we're working towards, okay? My best teachers were music teachers, though. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love it. Okay, here's our new starting pitch. Low voices. I can't sing that one, but I can sing this one for higher voices. Here's your first twinkle. Can you find the perfect fifth above this starting pitch? Here comes the answer. Twinkle, perfect fifth. So if you're a low voice, we'll be down here. And if you're a high voice, the interval would be up here. How'd we do? Did we get this one correct? It's always really telling. If you get one correct after we took a little break because I was yapping, and then you still get it correct, that's a really good sign that you've internalized it. Awesome. Cool. 2 more. Here's a new one. Low voices, high voices. I'm going to play the pitch 3 times, and then I'll play the answer. We're finding the perfect fifth above. Here we go. Twinkle, high voices, low voices. Okay. We do good? Yay. All right, 1 more perfect fifth. Here she comes. We're going to do, where am I going to play this one? It's the last one. I better pick a good note. Low voice. Whoa, I can't believe I could hit that today. Low voice. Barely, but it's there. Oh, that's funny. Can you actually even hear me phonating? High voice. I'm so fascinated by lower ends of people's ranges. Sorry, I got so distracted. Okay. Here comes the answer. Twinkle, high voice, low voice. How do we do with perfect fifths, my love? We do good? Perfect fifths are a great place to start, especially if you're a beginner. Okay? Now, we're going to move on. I'm going to do, so perfect fourths below are easier than thirds, in my opinion, right? Everybody's different. But I'm going to do thirds next. And the reason I'm like saying this ahead of time is because thirds, to me, are some of the hardest. They're the middle of the triad, right? So like, I feel like it's the hardest to pick out the note in the middle for most people. Doesn't mean for everybody, okay? But I want to do thirds next because we just did fifths and the third is in the middle. 1, 5, 3. this is of a triad, of what we call a major triad. And again, if you want more information on major triads, sign up for my email list, link in bio, and you'll be emailed a free PDF all about major triads. Hi, kitty. Come sing with us. You have such a pretty singing voice. So I want to do thirds next because we just finished fifths. So we're going to do thirds and then we'll move on to perfect fourths below last, okay? But this one is tricky, so if you don't get it right, please be gentle with yourself. Go back to the recording. It'll be posted on YouTube right after we're done here, okay? And keep practicing if you don't get it today, all right? So we use "Oh When the Saints Go Marching In" to find a major third above. Okay, so sing, this is our starting note, low voice, high voice. Sing "Oh When the Saints" with me. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Okay, so the oh when. So first, but if you go, you have to go to my link that's in my bio and click on that, and then it'll say join my email list and receive a free PDF. So you'd have to trade in your email address, and then you'll be emailed the free PDF. Okay, so we're gonna stop on the when. Oh when the saints, oh when. That's a major third. Okay, and there's other songs you can use too. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. I like kumbaya because it's the entire triad. Right? So 1, 3, 5, kumbaya. And there are probably a lot of other songs you could think of. Oh blah dee, oh blah da, right? So let's use kumbaya today, knowing that you can also use "Oh When the Saints" or "Oh blah dee" or any other song that you would like, okay? And we're gonna do 2 levels of major thirds. First, we're just gonna find the major third above, right? I'll give you the starting pitch and you'll find the one above. Then I'm going to play the open fifths, and you have to find the third. So what that might look like is, oh, when the saints, kumbaya, kumbaya, kumbaya. Okay, that's the third. That is really advanced. So if you don't get that today, no sweat, all right? So let's practice right where we started. This is our first note. Hello, Ayana. Nice to see you. Low voices, high voices. Sing "Oh When" or "Kumbaya" when the saints are kumbaya. Same as perfect fifths. I'm going to play the note 3 times. Sing your answer at home. Here comes the correct answer. When, oh when, kumbaya. 3. High voice, low voice. How do we do? Did we get it correct? Let me know in the comments or by double tapping liking. And then we'll do 3 more of these to practice. My lord, my lady. Have you ever seen that couple on TikTok who they talk to each other like they're in Game of Thrones? When they're like doing tours around the house. I don't even watch Game of Thrones, but I love that couple. I love their content. It's so fun. All right. Okay. No comments, no feedback. So we're going to keep practicing these major thirds, okay? New starting pitch. Low voice. High voice. We're using "Oh When the Saints" or "Kumbaya" to find the major third above. Oh, when, high voice, low voice. That's the correct answer. How do we do? Kumbaya, oh when the saints, oh when. Good? This one's a little bit trickier. Are we getting it? Okay, I'm seeing some double taps. I'm seeing some likes. I'm going to assume that means we're good, we're golden, and we're going to keep practicing. All right, new starting pitch. Now, we're going to make a huge jump in intonation here, which is going to make this one tricky. Yes, Sal, the third is the middle note when I play the entire triad or chord. 1, 5, 3. That's why I'm calling it 3, because the 3 is the middle of the sandwich. Okay? And the 3 can be major or minor, but right now we're doing major, okay? So now we're making a huge jump in intonation, which is going to make this one trickier. Low voices, high voices, okay? So now we're using the "Oh When" of "Oh When the Saints Go Marching In," or we're using the "Kumbaya" of "Kumbaya" to find the 3rd note. The major 3rd above this starting pitch. Here comes the answer. Oh, when. Oh, when for low voices. Okay. And then Sal, if we were going to, you know how we were working on 5ths before 3rds? The 5th is the next one. 1, 3, 5. So right now we're doing 1, 3. But then if you go back to 1 and you do twinkle, 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 you find the 5. So like now you have the tools to build a whole triad through ear training, right? You can do 1, oh, when, 1, 3, twinkle, twinkle, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to deeply internalize the 1, the 3, and the 5, because these are the basic building blocks for harmony. Now, sometimes they're not structured that way. Sometimes maybe the 5 is on the bottom, and then it becomes 5, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1. Do you see how I can stack them on their heads? That's called inversions. And we did do a Music Theory Monday on inversions. It's on YouTube if you want to go watch it. We'll do more work on inversions in future, but that's like step 5 or 6. Right? Right now we're just trying to internalize the intervals themselves. Okay? Let's do another practice. Here is your new one. Low voice, high voice. Now remember, we're using Obladi, we're using Kumbaya, or Oh When the Saints Go Marching In to find the major 3rd above. And then if you also want to find the perfect 5th above, you can use this same starting note to do Twinkle, Twinkle. Okay, so you can now build the entire triad just knowing the 1 starting pitch. Does that make sense? If there are any questions, drop those in the chat. Here comes the answer for the major 3rd above. Oh, when, high voice, low voice, oh, when, oh, when. Okay? Twinkle, twinkle, when, 1, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, Kumbaya. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do, and this is so hard, so please be gentle with yourself if it doesn't work out the first time. I'm going to play now open 5ths. So I'm going to play the twinkle and the twinkle, and we're going to try to find the 3 in the middle. Okay, so if I just play this, can you sing the note that I was just singing? That's the major 3rd in the middle of the sandwich. Even just holding that note when I'm not playing it is hard, let alone finding it out of thin air. Okay? I'll play this once more. This is the middle note. Oh, when, Kumbaya. Okay? So you can find the low note and go up, right? Which is, oh, when the saints, or you can find the high note and go down. What we use for this is a minor 3rd descending. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Forgive my scraggly little voice. She's not warmed up today. Okay, but hey Jude. All right, that'll help you if you hear the top note first. Okay, and Kumbaya will help if you hear the bottom note. Kumbaya is really great too because you can figure out, okay, I know Tara's playing the 1 and the 5. If I sing Kumbaya, does that actually fit? Then you'll know you're on the 1, right? Because if you started here, Kumbaya, you see how weird that sounds? So that would be a good indicator that you're on the high pitch, that you're starting on the wrong note. Kumbaya. Okay, wait, that doesn't make sense. So then can I hear the other note that she's playing? Kumbaya. Okay, so you see how there's a lot of like guessing, and like the trickiest part about triads is we tend to hear it as a whole. So to pick out one note, we don't know necessarily if we're singing the 1 or the 3 or the 5. So that's the skill that we're trying to develop right now. You think you're getting it? I love that. Heck yeah. Okay. I am running out of time, so let's practice. New open fifth. Okay, here it is for low voices. There's a high note and a low note. High note and a low note. They're the same high note and low notes, the same 1 and 5. I'm just playing them in octaves. Okay. Now I'm going to play the notes individually since this is round 1. I want to give you a chance to work it out. Okay, so here's the 1 and here's the 5. The low twinkle and the high twinkle. Can you find the 3 in the middle by either starting on the low one and using Oh When the Saints or starting on the high one and using Hey Jude? Here comes the answer. 3 or 3. How do we do? Do we get it? This is a tricky one. Got it. Heck yeah, I love that. All right, let's do 2 more of these and then we'll move on to perfect fourths because she gotta go. So we didn't spend a ton of time on minor thirds today, but you do know that you have Hey Jude to use for descending, high to low minor thirds. And if you want to learn more about minor thirds, go back and watch the previous Ear Training Tuesdays. There's even a whole Music Theory Monday and Ear Training Tuesday specifically on minor thirds and minor triads. So you can go check that out on YouTube if you're interested, okay? Let's do a couple more of these major third triad practices, okay? So here comes a new low voice, high voice. Okay. Here's the low note, the 1. Here's the high note, the 5. Here's the what we call open fifths because there's nothing in the middle, so they're open in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to play the open fifths, both octaves. Okay, open fifth, low octave, open fifth, high octave. Okay, try to find the 3rd in the middle. 3 for high voice, 3 for low voice, 3 for high voice. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. How'd we do with that one? We're getting it? Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more, but I'm not going to play the notes separately. This makes it significantly harder. See how you do, okay? All right. Here's the low octave. Hey, Raphael. How's the new job going, my friend? Here's the high octave. So now I'm not giving the notes to you individually. So you have to find the high note or the low note with your ears and figure out, am I on the high note? Am I on the low note? And then once you figure that out, then you use your trick to find the 3rd. So there's an extra step here, right? We're not certain which is the high and which is the low note. We're earing it out. You ready for the answer? Here it comes. 3 high voice, low voice. How did we do without the 1 and the 5 separated? Were we able to get there? Got it again. I love it. Cool. All right, let's do 1 more of these little trickier ones, okay? Low octave, high octave. All right, here comes the answer. 3 high voice, low voice. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Okay? So if you really want to internalize these triads, you're going to sing that 1, 3, 5, 3, 1 little exercise we just did all day, every day, all over the keyboard. How did we do? Did we get that one correct? Took a few tries, but you got it in the end. Heck yeah, that's awesome. It means you're learning, which is what we want. Yes, it means your brain is absorbing the information. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Cool. So we're going to pause there for major triads today, and we're going to move on to the perfect fourth below. Why is the perfect fourth below important? Because, here, let me show you quickly. Let me get a visual aid. I think it'll make more sense. Okay. So this is just a free virtual piano app. Oh, that's right. I locked the screen. And you can download a free app for Android or iPhone, a free keyboard app, or go to virtualpiano.net on a browser if you don't want to download an app. And that's just if you're a visual learner. You can also just check out my keyboard here. But what I'm trying to share with you is if we're building a triad, major triad, right? We have a 1, 3, and a 5. Okay, and that's in what we call root position. 1, 3, 5. Okay, but sometimes, remember I said we do something called an inversion, which changes the order of these notes. So these notes can be the 3 on the top, the 1 in the middle, and the 5 on the bottom. So do you see how the shape of my hand changed? Watch the shape of my hand. If you don't play the keyboard, it doesn't matter. But just look. This is evenly stacked. 1, 3. Sorry, my finger's in the way. This is kind of hard to do. All right. You see how my fingers are evenly stacked on the keys? Okay. Now watch what happens when I put the 3 on the top and the 5 on the bottom. Same notes. So it's the same triad, but look at this space between my middle and my pointer finger, okay? It's bigger than any of the spaces were when the chord was evenly stacked. Okay, does that make sense? So a lot of times when we're singing vocal harmony, it's shaped like this. The low harmony is down here. This is the melody, and this is the high harmony, right? When we hear those beautiful trios and stuff. So this means that we also have to get good at hearing this interval is a perfect fourth. Okay? When it's above, it's a perfect fifth. But when it's below, it's a perfect fourth. Do you see how we're going to the same note? Just one direction it's higher and one direction it's lower. Okay? So what can we use to remember this interval? It's do to sol if you're using solfege syllables. I'm blowing some minds, huh? And the reason it's a fifth when it's up and a fourth when it's down is just because there's 7 unique pitches in a scale. So it's uneven. So the math is never going to math evenly when we're doing music, which is part of why it is so confusing. And they did that on purpose. They didn't have to do that. Think about it like the entirety of the U.S. not using the metric system, right? They didn't have to do that. They were just being butts. Right? It's like the same thing with music theory a lot of the time. They didn't have to do that. But when you think about the scale, we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, 7 pitches. And then we're back to do. So it might seem like it's even. There's 8 pitches in the scale, but the 8th pitch is the same as the first pitch. So there's only 7 unique pitches. That's why it's a fifth above and a fourth below. We're landing on the same note. Cool. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that this was a light bulb moment for so many people. Amazing. I'll make sure to keep teaching this in the future. Okay, and I think, did seeing the shapes help you all understand that too? I figured probably actually seeing my hand would be helpful. Because, so I started taking piano lessons when I was 7. I'm not a great piano player, but I know enough to support my singing and my voice students and stuff, and to create music using like MIDI controllers and keyboards and things on Logic. But I started learning guitar about a year ago, and everything is about shapes in guitar, and no one ever taught me to play piano that way. I was taught to learn from sheet music. So when I started looking at piano also as shapes, it became a lot easier. So don't be afraid to think about music in shapes, right? Like if you're not a number person, think about it in shapes. Music is just, it's patterns. It's pattern recognition. If you can recognize a pattern, you can do it. Okay, all of this now, let's actually practice the perfect fourth below, okay? Knowing that it's the same pitch as the perfect fifth above, all right? So the song I like to use is from Moana. I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, right? How far I'll go. So that's the opening of that. I've been, okay? I know a lot of people don't know that, or maybe don't know that. Other people have suggested to me the Olympics theme song, right? Dum, 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 dum. Okay? This is also the pitches that a timpani is tuned to. So it's a very, very popular interval. You're probably listening to it and can think of 100 things that it sounds like, right? Let me use that little interval song chart to see if I can find something a little more universal for us to practice with. So once again, it's called Interval Song Chart Generator. It's on earmaster.com and it's a fantastic resource. Highly recommend for any ear training. Ooh, 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 ooh. Perfect fourth below. Under Pressure or Vanilla Ice, depending on what generation you're from. Okay. Oh, come all ye faithful. All right. Are we going from the fifth to the third? No. Technically, we're going from the 1 to the 5 below. 1 down to 5 or do to sol. The fifth to the third was Hey Jude, Sale, when we were doing the full triads. Okay. Another song, George of the Jungle. George, George, George of the Jungle. Okay, that's another one. I've been working on the railroad. Okay, let's use I've been working on the railroad. I think most people know that song. Okay. Awesome. So glad you love it, Ayana. Okay. So here's our starting pitch. Let's start where we began. Can you use I've been working on the railroad or any of the other songs we talked about to find the perfect fourth below? Remember, I'm going to play it 3 times, and now here comes the answer. I've been working on, I've been higher voices, low voice. That's the correct answer for low voice. I can't sing that low. Okay. That's what it sounds like together. And if we were to put that third note back on the top, the major third back on the top, we have the full triad. So this is in what we call second inversion, and this is root position, what we were working on earlier. Okay? 1 3 5 3 5 1 5 1 3. Okay? So that is just stacking the notes in a different order. Right now we're working on 1 down to 5. I hope that makes sense. Okay? Okay, let's try a new one. High voice, low voice. The way you are explaining makes so much sense. Love that. I'm so glad. So glad. Here comes the answer. I've been high voice, low voice. Yeah, I don't have that one. It was a nice try though. How are we doing with this one? I know it can be a little bit tricky to adjust because we were going ascending from low pitch up to high pitch. And now we're going from high pitch down to a lower pitch. So I know adjusting can be a little tricky. How y'all doing with it? I'm going to assume good. And if there's any problems or questions, drop them in the comments, okay? Here, let's do 2 more of these, and then your girl's gotta go because she's moving and she gotta pack. I haven't done any packing since Saturday, and it's making me really frantic because I'm like, how am I gonna get this done? But we always do, right? We always figure out a way to get everything we need to done, or we don't, and life still goes on. So, wee. Thanks for listening. All right. New starting pitch, high voice, low voice. Here comes the answer. I've been high voice, I've been low voice. We do always get it done. We do. Still hanging in. Love it. Awesome. Cool. All right, let's try uno más. Uno más. Ah. High voice, low voice. Using I've Been Working on the Railroad, or How Far I'll Go from Moana, or George of the Jungle, or the Olympics theme. Can you find that perfect fourth below? Here comes the answer. I've been. High voices, low voices. I can't sing that note. Okay, perfect fourths below. How do we do? Do you all have any questions? I'm going to start doing my little sign-off spiel. And if there's any questions or anything you'd like to review before I go, I can stay about 5 more minutes. So just drop any questions in the chat while I do my little... Is the goal muscle memory? Great question. Yes, the goal is muscle memory. You want to be able to hear these intervals and know what they are. Or, ultimately, I think if you're a singer, what the goal is like, I have these intervals so internalized that I can harmonize anything, even when I hear it for the first time. And that's not to be like, look at me, I'm so good. No, it's because I've internalized these intervals so thoroughly that I can hear a melody and I know the formula. Like, it's so deeply ingrained. I have way more than 10,000 hours of practice. So like when I'm singing like a top 40 gig for like a talent agency or something, another singer can be, maybe they had to learn a special request, and I've never heard the song before. By the second time the chorus comes around, I can sing a harmony on it if I have the lyric, because you memorize the formula. So like, say I know I want a harmony a third above, I would do okay, and I just able to do that because it's so ingrained in me. And then I could also start from the fifth below. So this is why we start with memorizing these intervals, right? When I was first getting used to this, I couldn't just sing the third without hearing it first. So I would go, I've been, So I would have to find the starting note I wanted and then follow the formula to create the harmony. But being able to find the third above and the fifth below it's such a useful starting point when you're first learning. I'm getting it right every time, but if a triad is 3 notes, why only use 2 notes to sing? Because this is step 1, Erin. That's a really good question. This is step 1. Step 2, like when I was such a nerdy child just wanting to harmonize everything, like what I would do is, because harmonies also can start with just 2 parts, right? So I would play a melody and sing along with it, like twinkle, 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 little star, like that. Or I would also practice by just like playing fifths, like we were just doing, and finding the 3. So all of these things are going to help you get used to hearing, because if you can hear the harmony, but if you can't hold it against another singer, then you can't really hear the harmonies. You have to be able to hear the intervals and how they mesh together to be able to sing them. I hope that makes sense. If there's more questions or you need further clarification, let me know. So, friends, this is Ear Training Tuesday. My name is Tara. I'm a professional singer based in New York City. I'm your resident harmony nerd, music educator, content creator, and I realized early on in my content creation journey that like musical knowledge is so gatekept. So I offer free music education classes 5 days a week. I am in the process of moving, so they are not daily this week, and they are not daily next week. I'm not going to be able to teach at all live, but I'm planning to post content for each day. So like there'll be a Music Theory Monday piece of content posted to my page. For YouTube, it'll be a short, and for TikTok, it'll just be a regular video, right? And we'll still do ear training practice on Tuesday. It'll just be in like video content format because I'm moving Monday and then I'm traveling. I have a gig in Mexico City and then one in South Carolina. She's got a lot of singing. It's gig season again. So there's no warm-up Wednesday tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm just a little too busy. I don't think there's going to be a frequency Friday either, but we will do voice lesson Thursday. And I skipped Music Theory Monday yesterday, but I'm planning to do later tonight or tomorrow like a really quick 20 to 30-minute makeup because people were wanting to learn about sharps and flats, what we call accidentals. So if that interests you, the next time you see me pop on live, I'll probably be talking about that. Don't forget, all of these replays are automatically posted to my YouTube. So if you want to go over everything we did today and really internalize it, go to YouTube at Resident Harmony Nerd. You can also open up my link in my bio. And at the top, there's two little icons, a TikTok icon and a YouTube icon. And you can click either of those and it'll send you to my main page on those platforms. Ways to support me for free, please subscribe on YouTube. I'm new on YouTube. Every subscriber helps. Like, follow, share, all of those things are a big help. You can join my email list at the link in my bio. And I also offer something called vocal assessments, where if you want to improve your singing but you don't want to commit to regularly scheduled voice lessons for one reason or another, where we meet one time and we go through an assessment process. If you're interested in learning more about that, let me know. I'm not going to go through all my spiel right now because I just don't have the time, and I'm not seeing students for the next couple of weeks. But I will be starting doing those again in April. And if you are interested in one-to-one lessons online, you can shoot me a DM or an email from my website. Hi, Fairy House. Thank you. My website is also in my link tree. And sometimes DMs get buried on TikTok or YouTube, so just FYI, like if you DM me and I don't respond, it's because I didn't see it. It's not because I'm being rude, I promise. So you can always feel free to shoot me an email if for some reason I miss your message on social media. And I do offer weekly lessons, and I also offer every other week. So if you'd like to take lessons, but you can't commit to every week, you want to do every other week, I have some students who choose that schedule as well. And of course I take tips also. If you go to my link tree, there's a button for tips. Even $1 helps. And if you're not able to donate now or today, that's okay too. You're still more than welcome. Okay, good morning. I have a lot of questions, but I'm at a doctor's appointment. Well, I'm glad that you could practice with us, Gaming Doctor. Feel free to join. I think the next session will be Thursday for free voice lessons, and then I am off the first week in April. I can't do it, y'all. So I'll be back on April 8th or April 9th after I've moved, after I've traveled, and I'm settled for sure. Don't forget about me while I'm gone, okay? Please. All right, let me see if there's any other questions. Easy follow, love your content. I'm a beginner and you've helped me. I'm so happy to hear that, Gaming Doctor. Thank you for the follow too. Sal, you're so lovely, amazing teacher too. Thank you. Thank you, Sal. I'm so glad that you stuck around. You showed up and you were like, I don't like music theory. And then you hung out the whole time and you were getting it. So congratulations. That's awesome. Thanks for sticking it out. I love that. Cool. All right. I'll miss you too, Jenny. Have fun. Get some you time, yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for the Mexican sun. Give it to me. Thank you. The move will go well. We'll get through it. But speaking of the move, it's time for me to start packing some stuff. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week, too. Hopefully, I'll see you Thursday. And if I don't see you Thursday, then I will see you in April. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the Harmony Nerd community. You are amazing, and I love you. And I will see you so soon. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Have a good day. Bye, TikTok.